Hey Taurus, welcome to my channel. This is Venus Baby Tarot, and I am here to give you your November monthly message. So I went ahead and I shuffled your cards, so I'm just going to cut the decks and pull some cards out for you. Look at that, you have Union and you have the Two of Swords. I may grab more of those in just a second. Then we're going to look at your career messages. Oh, lovely. Risk keeps coming out for Taurus. Oh my goodness, it's so funny. Okay, so also before we get started, I want to let you know if you're looking for a personal session with me, you can book on my scheduler down in the description box. And please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps me grow my channel. Okay, love messages for Taurus. Truth be told and building blocks. That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous energy. Alrighty, let's see what else we have here from the coffee. Are they leaves? Coffee leaves? Coffee grounds cards? Success, pride, acceptance, eccentric. Okay, let's go ahead and... Sorry, my allergies are just still bothering me. So if I'm kind of stuffy... sniffly, I'm sorry, it's just all part of the weather changes going back and forth here where I live. It's just 1 minute it's cold, then it's hot again, and it's just, you know, it's crazy over here. Okay, can we see all of the cards? I don't know. Okay, so then we're gonna get a couple of these right here and go into your message. Right off the bat, you have a Union card and you have Truth Be Told. So I feel like there's somebody who is going to, in the month of November, be opening up and telling you how they feel about you, Taurus, like full stop. Negotiation, indecision. I'm also getting the sense that like this is somebody who wants to build with you. Like this is somebody who wants to grow and evolve with you. You do seem to be at a point where you're trying to weigh out what you want to do in your life. Okay, so you have man, I messed that up. You have negotiation, indecision. Why are these so wonky? Okay. Negotiation, adaptability, interesting, defense, secrets, indecision, and we'll just take the extremism off the bottom of the deck and put it there. But now we have fortune. Wowza. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to leave it out for us to see, okay? Because the reason why, I feel like everything always happens for a reason with readings, like absolutely. And the fact that I didn't shuffle out the same amount of cards and I pulled the extremism and put it underneath this Two of Swords right here shows me that you're going back and forth between extremes and you're trying to find the balance. Which I feel like me talking about the weather had something to do with that. Because like where I live, like it'll be so freaking hot and then we're freezing. And then we're so hot and then we're freezing. And I'm like, okay, weather, can you please just like find a middle ground? Because my allergies cannot handle it. But anyway, so that I feel like is definitely going to be a message that's going to unfold. Extremes, like going between extremes, because look, I feel like you're in, okay, let's just start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning, because you're just at a point of indecision in the month of November. Okay, so anyway, I feel like there is a union that's coming in for you, right, with a person. And a negotiation is going to be required in this connection. It could be negotiating terms. Like if you're talking about like a union of a relationship that you're getting into, there may need to be a conversation that you have where you talk about boundaries, where you talk about your needs, things that you look for in a relationship, the standards that you have, etc. And that could be part of negotiation. Additionally, I'm seeing the sun and the moon. There are extremes, there are very different circumstances that you and this individual are experiencing. It could be a time zone difference even. And because of that, there's a need to find balance and union between the two of you. Additionally, there could be a contract that you are going to be signing in the month of November, where a negotiation is going to need to take place to discuss the terms, to discuss your, what you're looking for, what your standards are, your expectations are, just your end of the deal, right? And in order to reach a unified decision before signing a contract. Okay, now this could have to do with a legal contract. Like I've seen some of my commenters going through divorces and things like that. Like there's a negotiation that will occur if that's something that you're going through, if you're going through a divorce, right? Additionally here, because I'm reading these cards, like these are your love cards, these are your career cards, but I'm reading them like also as oracle cards, okay? So I'm getting the sense also that there is an idea that is taking hold for you, and you are going to be putting yourself out there to promote this idea. Sorry, a card just dropped, which was the Two of Wands, by the way. It is going to be something that you are trying to develop, something that you are trying to put into motion, right? Now, because the adaptability is there, I feel like this is basically like the universe's way of saying to be flexible, because things do not always move along as quickly as we would like. I mean, they just, not at the pace, but just at the developmental rate that we would like. Like sometimes it's like, okay, so if you have a social media account, this is a perfect example. You have a social media account and, you go look at your analytics, you see the graph that goes like this. It's not always like straight up. Like, it's like one day you have a lot of views, the next day you go down, the next day you go up, next day down, next day way up. It's like that. Right? And you have to learn to be adaptable, just adapt to the environment, because, ultimately that is just kind of the way that it is. There are times where things are going to progress very quickly. And then there are other times where it's going to slow down. Like if you run your own business and you're trying to promote your own business, that is something that is like totally like running your own business 101. Like, there are periods of time where things plateau, things slow down. It's just the way that it goes. It's like, how do I put this? So there are certain, okay, so it's like, for instance, like a car dealership, there are periods of time where car sales go down, right? Restaurants, okay, there are periods of time that people aren't going out to eat, right? Like if it's really cold outside or people are broke after the holidays, like people aren't really going out, they're not really spending money, and so it's almost like you're needing to be adaptable in terms of understanding that not everything is going to be, just a straight line to success, or it's not always going to just progressively grow and develop. Like sometimes there are going to be periods of decline. I almost said downward spiral, but I was like, no, that's not right. It's not and I feel like maybe that's part of the message in terms of like, that's how you feel. Like when things decline, you feel like you are going into a downward spiral, because it's hard to grasp. And, maybe a level of acceptance is needed. I understand, like, if you run your own business, like, obviously, like, you got to put food on the table. And so that could be part of why you feel like you fall into a downward spiral. Like, but I feel like the universe is sort of telling you, you just have to be adaptable and just, understand that sometimes you have to learn to, like, just go with the flow, move with the tide, and take the opportunities as they come. This is really weird imagery because this person seems to be trying to balance and juggle a lot of things on top of a person who's being trampled here. And it's like, it's almost like they're both reaching a level of acceptance. And then there's the Ankh symbol right here, which is the symbol of life. And so I feel like that's kind of the universe's way of saying, like, it is what it is. Like, life is life. You learn to ebb and flow, you know, or you're going to be miserable, you know. And I love the idea of non-attachment, right? Because, I mean, the root of all suffering is attachment. And it could be that there are ideas that you find yourself, or you will be finding yourself attached to. And you're just going to have to learn to adapt to life, as if like you're just saying, I'm accepting life on life's terms. Because ultimately, yes, we co-create with the universe, absolutely, but we have nothing to do with timing. I am absolutely like sure of it. I remember I started manifesting this business back in 2015. Yeah, like I had, written it all out in my journals. Like I knew what I wanted to do. Like there were certain certifications I wanted to get, like my sound healing certification and my Reiki master certification. And I was manifesting this in 2015. And I didn't even really like start the physical business or doing the business until by almost 5 years later. So like I didn't have anything to do with the timing, or like I couldn't control the timing. There were a series of circumstances that were set in motion in my life that took precedence over that. And I had to just sort of adapt to life. Like it just, Anyway, so I feel like this is an important message here for you, because you are setting in motion a new project. You are manifesting something, or you've been manifesting something, and it is coming to fruition. It says right here, no, it has a great potential for success. So I feel like this adaptability card is not telling you like just adapt to things not working out, more as like kind of go with the flow, like learn to be in the flow and appreciate the moments as they come, even if they're not exactly what you're expecting them to be at the time, or the rate that or the pace that you're expecting them to unfold. That was a big message in itself. Now, I want to actually get some tarot out on this table before I complete my channelings of the rest of the cards here. You have the Death card. That's interesting. That's really interesting underneath that Union, because for some of you, like this really is about a divorce. Like you're going through a divorce, you're negotiating the terms, and you're becoming unified in your decision. That is really interesting. For some of you, though, that looks like that could be... Oh, we have the card. It looks like... Well, because I don't know which card was actually on the bottom of the deck, we're just going to take the split and the bottom as we have it. So it's the Moon card right here. And the Ten of Pentacles. So, let's clean these up a little bit before I start channeling. I hope that they look somewhat decent. Okay. Somebody asked me why I don't show my face on camera. Truly, it's for two reasons. Number one, I'm a single mother, and I drop the kids off at school in the morning, and I usually record, and I don't put on makeup and get ready, truthfully. But the other reason is because I really like to just sit back and feel the cards. That is one of the ways that I channel the most, is through feeling. Although I have several of the clairs, that's one of the ways that I channel the most, is just feeling the energy. So we're going to focus on feeling the energy now. Okay, this is getting on my nerves. So we're going to take our beautiful fortune card out. And we're going to take the other one underneath it too, because we're going to make it look even. And then I'm going to sit back and like channel. Okay. So right down here, you have the Death card, King of Cups, Lovers, 10 of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords. So, okay. I'm getting the sense here. This Death card right here, additionally, I want to tell you there could also be something that has already been released in your life. A person, okay? And I feel like there could have been a shedding of the skin here. Some changes have been made. Things have, evolved in this person. And part of the negotiation here is whenever you come into union with this individual, you sort of have to talk about like what happened and what is acceptable to you and what is unacceptable to you. Okay. So that you can get on a level playing field. Okay. Now, with this King of Cups right here, I am seeing very much like that this is basically for you, like emotional maturity. It's like, with the King of Cups, like the King of Cups really knows when to respond and when not to respond, when to, when to fall back and when to overreact. Like really, because sometimes you do need to react, maybe not overreact, but when to fall back and when to react, right? And I feel like that is basically what all of this energy is right here. This is telling you, do the thing, put yourself out there, take the action, promote yourself in your career, just in life in general. Like start putting, your manifestations out there, really start verbalizing things, telling the universe, like, this is what I want. Like, bring it to me and expect it, and that's the thing. Like, so I'm such an Abraham Hicks fan, expecting it, right? Additionally, it says, use the law of attraction for money, be the energy you want to attract. And I feel like that's the other thing about this King of Cups, because the King of Cups is somebody who has gone through a lot of different emotional cycles, gender non-specific, in order to reach that king status, okay? And there's a lot of emotional stability within the King of Cups. A lot of readers I hear say things like, there's a lot that's hidden about the King of Cups as well. I really feel more like with the King of Cups, like, he, she, they, whatever, knows when to reveal and when not to reveal. It's like, whenever it comes to like your personal business, like not everybody needs to know everything. That's something that I've had to learn, like in my life. I used to tell everybody like everything about every step I was taking in my life. And to be in the King of Cups status, it's just like you sort of learn to read the room. And you learn like what is necessary information to give and what is just information that you need to keep to yourself, right? And I feel like with this energy, you have become a person who has not only learned to balance yourself and to really step into that self-mastery of knowing when to give and when to hold back, right? Regardless of whether or not it's information or emotions, whatever. I feel like through that process, it is because it is something that, what am I trying to say? Through that process, you have become very much in tune with your own energy and who you are, right? What you offer, what you bring to the table, what is valuable about you, right? And when you are becoming the energy that you want to attract, it's like, okay, there's two things that are coming to me right now. So it's like, how people say, like, if you want your soulmate to come to you, be your own soulmate, right? Or, like be the qualities of the person that you're wanting to attract, right? But if you're wanting to attract more money into your life, be the qualities of money. And I know that that's hard for some people, because I know a lot of people think that money is like the root of all evil and stuff like that. I don't think it is. I think greed is the root of all evil. Money is just an energetic frequency for, give and take. It's how we equalize. It's how, it's how we are reciprocal. It's how, it's supply and demand. It's right. It's like, it's how we keep things moving energetically in terms of offering for what is given, or paying for what is given. I hope that made sense. Because, I mean, for me, it's like, it's just a balance of energy. It's like when somebody pays me for a service, to me, it's just a balance of energy. I've given something of value, and so I'm getting something of value, right? And so I feel like something that's going to be very important for you, Taurus, is to really identify the good qualities of money. What is amazing about money? What is special about money? And how do you see that in yourself? Do you have those qualities that you see in money? Because if you want to attract more money, don't you need to be more like the thing you want to attract? Right? Or wouldn't you want to see money the way that you see yourself? Because I heard somebody say once, I can't remember his name. He said, money sees you how you see yourself. And I'm telling you that he was a Taurus. I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. I would totally quote him, give him credit if I could remember his name. I'll put it down in the comment box if I remember. Okay. Anyway, so money sees you how you see yourself. And so maybe like that's something that you need to really work on, is like how you see yourself. Very much King of Cups energy, right? Really becoming in tune with your own energy, your emotions, your way of moving, all of it, Because when we have that really deep self-understanding, we are able to master ourselves, right? And for me, the King of Cups is the king of self-mastery. Anyway, so this is going to be very important work for you, I feel. Because you want to use the law of attraction to attract more money. But something about you needs to adapt to a new way of thinking and a way of being when it comes to money. So that you could be in the very similar vibrational frequency so that it flows easier to you. Especially in terms of things that you are trying to promote or kickstart in your life. Wow. Like, I don't know. Sometimes these messages can be so deep for me. And I like leave the reading and I'm like, dang, I have some writing to do. Because the readings aren't always for me. I know that. But sometimes it's just like some of the things that I channel, I'm like, wow, like I need to go journal about that. Anyway, truth be told, defense and the lovers. I kind of get the sense here for you. I feel like somebody really wants to open up and tell you how they feel about you. But because of the fact that defense is here, it's really interesting to me because I feel like on one hand you're open to it, but I feel like there's something that seems to be in the way. Because I'm looking at the secrets and the 10 of Wands. And I kind of want to pull some more cards to find out if like you're holding on to something, like if you have a secret or if you feel like they have a secret. Because I feel like there's something that is revealed to you about this individual. Or like they open up and they tell you something. Now, if this is somebody who you are not currently dealing with, somebody secretly has feelings for you and will open up and tell you about it. But because the defense is here, I'm in the 10 of Wands, I'm kind of getting the sense that there could be like water under the bridge with this person. And you are like, yeah, I don't really know. Like, I have to be honest with you. We got to pull some more cards. That's what we have to do. Sorry, I should have gotten out a clarifier deck, but I did not. Okay, Spirit. Please let me know what this defense is about. Oh my goodness. Just dropped a bunch of cards on the ground. Okay. Please clarify this defense for me, please. The Ace of Pentacles. Taurus, I really think somebody's going to try to come back from the dead. Tell me about the secrets. Yeah, the fates. Tell me about the Ten of Wands. With the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Ten of Wands. And the Sun card. Okay. I'm like, how do I even say all this? Because I know, like, I can already hear some of the commenters. Like, I can already hear some of you be, like, I don't want this person. Like, I have no interest whatsoever. Like, I can already, I know it. I know it's coming. But because of that defense card right there, like, I already know. Like, there are some of you that are like, hell to the no. Like, you can miss me with all of your nonsense. Like, been there, done that, learned the hard lessons. And it could have actually, like, led you to ruin. Like, just, it tore you up, right? I mean, it's really interesting. I see the snake both times. It's like this person could be very unpredictable and you just don't know if you can trust them. Like, you know, like, are you going to ravage me again? But for real, you got the Death card with the baby right here and the Ace of Pentacles. Something wants to come back from the dead. A person, somebody does. And I feel like it's fated because you have the fates right here, which is the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like there's some sort of unfinished business that needs to be resolved here. I feel that this person has seen the light. I feel like they see how they were carrying around a crushing weight of past experiences and baggage and pain and just old stale energy that was impacting this connection. I feel like there were a lot of things that you didn't know about in terms of this person and what they were struggling with mentally, emotionally, or in their environment, in their life. I feel like this person has been trying to build and grow and to be better. I feel like this person wants to rebuild what was broken. And I feel like you are absolutely just on the fence about it and you're defensive because you're like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what you're trying to do here because I see the snake here. Like, I feel like this person's just unpredictable and you don't want to get like wrapped up in it again only to be disappointed. And I feel like here I'm looking at this indecision. It's like one of my spiritual mentors told me once in terms of a connection. She was like, it sounds like it's like stardust to whale shit. And I was like, that is an absolutely disturbing image. Like, but that was the extremes. You know, it went from being just so magical to just a big pile of, you know, crap, right? And I'm looking at the extremes. All these extremes in the cards And because of that, it's so the extremes. It's so unpredictable for you. But I feel like there's sort of a, dare I say, a karmic contract that is still not completed with this individual. I mean, truly, because I'm looking at this Truth Be Told card, which is very justice-like for me. This Wheel of Fortune, this 10 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, Lover's card, this Union card. I'm looking at all of this, the Moon card even. And it looks very much like there is a contract, a spiritual karmic contract, right? That has not been completed because I feel like this individual sort of had to go through their own karmic demise, is the best way to put that, to see the light. And do you see how in this Sun card specifically, there are two individuals embracing each other? And one of them is almost like not even there, as if it's like a dream. As if one person is trying to like telepathically or energetically pull the other one in. Honestly, you could be dreaming about this person, or you will be. You may be seeing their name everywhere. Like seeing, like you'll be listening to songs that remind you of them, and then you'll see their name. Those are all signs of the universe. I'm basically over here like thinking to myself, what does Taurus want from this? Because the 9 of Cups is here, and I feel like there's definitely a desire to restart this connection, but I don't know if that's from you. How does Taurus feel about this? The 5 of Cups. I feel like with you, Taurus, it's like you got what you wanted in this connection and then you were disappointed. Like it wasn't what you really ever, it wasn't like what you thought it was. Like, you know, it's almost like at one point maybe you put this individual on a pedestal or this relationship on a pedestal, and then eventually realized that this was not anything like how you were envisioning it in your mind, and that there were a lot of holes and there were a lot of issues and there were a lot of things that were really unraveling in this connection that weren't visible to you or visible to your naked eye. Perhaps because you had your blinders on, because love is blind, right? And I feel like now you're at a point where I feel like with this individual, she's actually looking at the 2 full cups. Usually in the 5 of Cups, the person is looking at the spilled over 3 cups, and the 2 of Cups is behind the person, and all the person needs to do is turn around. I feel like in this particular deck, she's looking down at the 2 of Cups. I feel like you know that there's so much more out there for you. Will you take this person back? I feel like that's obviously, based on everybody's individual experience. But I feel like you know that there's more out there. Maybe that there's the dream that you thought that this connection was still out there. And you're looking for evidence of that. Additionally, I feel like though some of you, and I have to be real about this, some of you are already going to be in a union with another person. This could be a new connection, but it's like some of you, I feel like, are going to be in a relationship with somebody. And then you have somebody who tries to come back from the past, And I mean, in your mind, like the nail is in the coffin with this individual. You've already grieved this situation. But like there's sort of a negotiation, I feel like, that happens here. It could also be a negotiation with a person that you're with on, how how it would be comfortable for both of you to go deal with this situation and not harm this person you're in union with. Because I do get this sense that there are things that are going to come out for you that you need to hear to complete this, this karmic contract, or this, spiritual contract, right? Soul contract. Like, there are things that you sort of need to hear. Like, there's some resolution that you need to have. And I'm not one of those people that believes that we have to have closure. I really don't. I think that you can just become indifferent. And I'm such a Swiftie, and she said it, but she said it so well in one of her interviews. But that is how I move. Like, I used to always think I needed to have closure, and I don't. I really don't. Now I'm just like, okay, well, I move forward, right? However, sometimes our soul needs something, or our soul has decided that something was supposed to happen in this lifetime with a specific person. And even though, like, mentally, emotionally, we may not feel like we need closure, there are still some things that we have to complete. And I feel like there is something that you're going to be completing in the month of November. Very interesting. So, wow, look at all this. This person's intentions, 8 of Swords, Tower, and the Devil. I feel like this person's intentions is to release themselves from the bondage of the past. I feel like you don't need this resolution. They do. They need it. I feel like, honestly, with this 8 of Swords and the Devil, I feel like they haven't been able to fully move on. They just haven't, because they have unfinished business with you. And they need it to be completely demolished between the two of you. And either you rebuild together, or you just let it completely fall apart so that they can move on. I feel like this person has some things that they need to say to you, things that they need to reveal to you, because they need resolution. And honey, you can decide whether or not you want to engage in that. I mean, you really can. But anyway, so back to your career. I feel like you have risk keeps coming out for Taurus. Calculated risk is sometimes necessary in order to advance. And I feel like the calculated risk is for you to put yourself out there and promote something that you're working on. But I feel like you're at this point of indecision because you don't want to fail. You want things to work out, right? But that's the thing about a risk. We don't really ever know if it works out. That's the thing about the fool jumping off the cliff. Like, we don't really know how far he has to fall. Or if a tree's going to catch him. Like, you really don't know. But that's where faith is. That's where faith lives. And I feel like sometimes in terms of like the pages, which Page of Pentacles is right here, I feel like pages kind of have a sense of blind faith because they still have that childlike sense of wonder. And perhaps that's something that you need to embody. Because, this person right here is saying, what if I fail? And this person who is literally flying as an angel says, well, what if you fly? And that's the thing. It's like right here, roll the dice, see what happens, right? The odds are better than you think is what it says. And don't focus on the outcome. Have the courage to face uncertainty. I feel like it's time to put yourself out there and just learn to adapt to the ebb and flow. Like when you are kickstarting a new project in your life, whatever it is, like even if you are just trying to put yourself out there and put your resume out there, like there's always going to be, sort of ups and downs that you go through, It's not always just a beeline to success. I wish I could say that it is. For some people, it does happen. They get lucky breaks, and that can happen. Absolutely. But not everybody here watching this reading is going to experience that. Some of you will. I see that. But some of you are just going to have to adapt to the ebb and flow. And that doesn't mean you're not going to reach success, because you are. It says you have a great potential for success. It says the odds are better than you think. Definitely looks like it could really be good for you. But you're not going to know unless you try. Unless you plant the seed. That Page of Pentacles. Put in your resume. Start taking the steps. And that's the thing, like, when it comes to starting new projects, people like get so overwhelmed in their minds and, think of all the things that they have to do. And, and really all you have to do is take one single step. And then you take another step. And then you take another step. You don't have to have it all figured out right from the beginning. Sometimes you just have to give yourself permission to suck at something new. And what I mean by sucking at something new, it's like whenever you try something new, whatever it is, you don't always know what you're doing. So you just have to learn to adapt. You have to learn to adjust, right? Like, oh, okay, well, maybe I could have done this a little bit better. And so I'm going to adjust that a little bit and do better next time. And you just keep learning and you just keep growing. You just keep evolving, right? But really all you do is just get started. And I feel like you sort of find your flow, you find your footing. But you're going to start something. I feel like you're going to teeter a little bit in November and be on the fence. But I do feel like you're going to start something. You're going to put yourself out there. Now, I'm looking over here now at the Two of Swords with the extremism and the Page of Swords. That's an interesting energy because I'm really getting like an overabundance of information. Like maybe you're looking too much up online, or you're watching too many, like, you're trying to figure out how to do something and you're watching a lot of YouTube videos and you're trying to see how other people do something, and it's just an overabundance of information. And then it only confuses you even further. So I feel like you're going to have to lean in and trust your intuition a little bit more and not really worry so much about like the outcome and what if I do this and what if I do that? No, just do what feels right and take a single step. You don't have to have it all figured out, right? I'm looking at this card right here and I'm wondering what they're doing. Because it's like this person seems to have something that the other person wants. This person seems to be in the sun and in a very just light-filled environment. And this person seems to be coming from a darker environment, trying to come grasp at what this person has. And I am kind of getting the sense that with this energy, maybe part of what holds you back is you're like, I don't want to take this risk and then somebody take my idea. And so maybe you're investigating ways of keeping that from happening. But I mean, honestly, in the age of social media, like, good luck. I had so many scammer accounts on my Instagram at one point, like, I couldn't even keep track. I stopped posting for a while because of it, because I was, like, so tired of my stuff getting stolen. But I mean, I got to a point where I decided to stop giving my energy to it because it was making me upset, and it wasn't good for me. It just wasn't good for me. But I'm definitely getting the sense, Taurus, that you have something that somebody wants. And it could be information that you have, but I feel like you have something that somebody or people want, like that they desire. You know, they could look up to you, but they could also be very jealous of you. And I feel like that is going to put you in an energy of trying to find the balance between the extremes, between being like sort of naive and just going at it, just thinking everything is going to be all fluffy bunnies and everything's going to work out. Nobody's ever going to steal anything from you, or, nobody's going to be jealous or, whatever towards you, vengeful towards you, or being like in the dark and always being worried and paranoid. Like, you have to sort of find the balance between the two. It's like you really have to learn how to conserve your own energy and how to manage your thoughts and really filter out what's true and what's just a projection and what's a fear or anxiety, and find that balance within, and also learn to trust the universe and learn to trust yourself, right? So that you can stay out of those two extremes. Because I feel like there's always going to be like darker individuals. There's always going to be people who are just riddled with greed and just a lust for possessing everything, right? Like they have to have it because they want the power. And you can't be so naive that you're constantly being taken advantage by these individuals. But you also can't be constantly so paranoid that you don't live. There's got to be a healthy balance there. Now, I also want to, and it's so interesting that the word acceptance is here, and acceptance kept coming out over there. Additionally, I wanted to talk about, this is so weird. I just saw this card right here with this lust, and I looked over at the volcano and I thought, I heard dumpster fire. So I think that that's kind of taken me back to this connection right here. Like it was a dumpster fire, and it's like you're kind of asking yourself, like, am I really going to revive this? Now, I'm looking over here, 10 of Pentacles, fortune, and success and pride. I feel like this is sort of your beautiful message here to tell you that some risks are worth taking, right? Putting yourself out there and taking these risks in life, whether or not it's in a connection or it's in an idea or a new job or a new creation, like it's worth taking because of the success and the fortune, the good fortune that it could bring you. Even if it means you being susceptible to negative people. But I think we talked about that recently too in one of your readings, Taurus, about being protected from negative energies. That's what we're going to do. Tell me more about these negative energies for Taurus, please. The Fool and the Seven of Swords. I feel like, okay, don't be too trusting, right? Don't be too trusting with individuals. Don't be fooled with individuals. You know, be on your game. But also, simultaneously, be the Empress. And the Empress just, I mean, she just knows, right? Like, I always tell everybody, like, the Empress is walking tall, head held high, like strutting her stuff, just knowing that the universe is supporting her constantly. I mean, she is just walking through life with so much grace. So much grace. Just so much faith. you know? Like she lives and breathes life and abundance. And there's a lot of trust that is required with you in terms of with the universe and with your own self and your own decisions and your ability to see through the BS. But don't be too trusting of individuals unless you get all the facts. And I also feel like with that negotiation there, it's like some things you negotiate and some things are not up for negotiation. You know, with some people, some situations, it's not up for negotiation. It's not up for discussion. You know, I know where my line in the sand is, and that's that. And you may honestly need to embody that energy. I'm really getting a lot of middle ground, like really staying right-sized kind of energy. Like don't get, like, because with all these extremes, it could be like the two extremes of the ego, which are, you know, arrogance and pompousness, or feeling not enough and, you know, just feeling like you have no value or worth. There's a middle ground there, and that middle ground is where we find the God spark. And that's where we really see, you know, where we really see how amazing and beautiful we are, regardless of what we're told by society that we're supposed to look like, or how much we're supposed to make, or what we're supposed to do with our lives, or what timeline we're supposed to do everything in. Like, none of that matters whenever you're connected to the God spark and you're right size, because then you know that you're always right on time and that the universe has you planted right where you're supposed to be, and you don't have to worry about the rest of that nonsense, right? And so you may need to find the middle. Look at that. Look at the God. Look at the God spark. Right there in the middle of his hands. It's like you're really needing to be in the middle. Like, don't be like, oh, I have everything figured out, and get, you know, be too risky with your life. Be too trusting and be too impulsive. But also don't like sabotage yourself because you don't think that things are going to work out, or you're too scared, or you're too paranoid, or you're too fearful, or you're too worried that you're not enough, or whatever. Because that, I mean, those two extremes are going to ruin you every time. So you have to sort of stay in the middle. And whenever you're in that middle space and you're really connected to your God spark, you are connected to spirit. You are in alignment with spirit. And that makes your intuition stronger. And that makes you more impervious to shady people. Right? It helps you to be more into the Empress energy and the full energy, which I equally love. Because the full, I always tell people there's so much we can learn from the full. The full is not sitting around worrying about things like timelines. Like, the full is like, I'm me. I'm unabashedly myself. I am on my own dang journey. Take it or leave it, right? And the Empress is just like, I'm going to get everything that I want and then some. So I have nothing to worry about. There's so much faith in both of those cards. And I feel like there's times that you deny yourself of these energies, and that's why this is here. Anyway, okay, so we're going to close up this reading. Sometimes I just get to talking and I don't shut up. Let's get you a closing oracle message. If you guys are looking for a personal session, you can book in my my scheduler, on my scheduler in the description box down below. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Closing oracle message for Taurus, please. Uncovering treasure. See? Beneath the surface lies a great bounty. And I feel like beneath the surface of all this egoic stuff is where you're going to find it. That's when you're going to get connected to the voyage of the heart, because you're going to be connected to the God spark. Love flows through you and to you. And it is going to be time to expand your horizons. And there's our Phoenix. Phoenix keeps coming out for us Tauruses. So that's what I have for you. I have no idea how long this reading was. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I will see you next time. Have a lovely evening. Bye.